What's up, YouTube? How you guys doing today? I know it's been a while since I made a video, but I've been busy, and it's just I've been a couple times. I was planning on doing a video, but I've been very busy. So a couple things I wanted to touch on were things going on with the freight right now, which has been a big issue with drivers not being able to find freight, not being able to find loads. Some people are quitting the business. Owner operators are leaving. It's just you lose money if you run some of these loads that are coming out. So I want to touch on that, and also to kind of coincide with that, mega carriers, because for so long now, you see videos on YouTube, owner operators talking about mega carriers, leasing is bad. So I'm going to touch on that in a little bit too. I'm going to give you some numbers. Everybody's been asking for numbers, so I'm going to give you some. I'm with the mega carrier, and during all this turmoil between the freight and stuff, I'm still running. I get loads all the time. I'm sitting right now. I'm getting ready to go home for the weekend, because I'm getting ready to become a landlord also. So got some work I can get done there, and my truck is getting inspected. A BPM inspection and a DOT inspection, so I'm getting that done. But I already have a pre-assignment for when I come back home. Come back from home. So I mean, they already got me set up with a load to pick up on Monday morning. So they keep me running. As long as I'm ready to run, they're ready for me. And I'm not bragging, because I know that could change any time. But right now, being with a mega carrier, they have many accounts, they have many contacts. It's a good time. I'm a lease purchase, and I get percentage pay. People are always fussing about percentage pay. I get 67%. There's no trailer fee, nothing like that. It's straight 67% of the load. I get 100% of the fuel surcharge. So yeah, they keep me going. This past week I was down in Texas. Now I'm back home in North Carolina. Usually run up in Ohio and Indiana, places like that. And as long as I'm ready to go, they got me going, and that's a good thing. So I can understand why people say, mega carriers are bad. They're only out there for themselves. Not 100% true, I don't think. My company's been really good to me. There are some bad ones out there. Lord knows my first video I posted was Western Express, and we all know about Western Express. Some other bad ones I hear about, of course, Ego. Everybody talks about Ego. They take you fuel surcharge there. What kind of shit is that? They're not driving, they take you fuel surcharge. I hear bad things about Trans Am. I just hear that from other drivers who are driving there, and they don't make enough money, they can't keep going. So there's some bad ones out there. There are some out there just for the company. I think a lot of issues with lease purchase that we hear, it's not for everybody. People come out there, they say, they hear all these great stories about lease purchase. I'm gonna make all this money. They come out of CDL school with lights in their eyes and dollar signs in their eyes, and they hear all these great stories from these recruiters. Recruiters are just doing their job, getting them in the door. Do they lie? Yeah, I'm sure they do. But you gotta use your common sense. I mean, you can't expect to come out here and drive a truck around and make millions of dollars. It's not going to happen. You can make good money. You can make great money. But you got to know the business. I mean, so I think people coming out and they're straight out of CDL school and going and getting a truck and doing lease purchase, they don't know nothing about business. They don't know nothing about taxes. They don't know none of that stuff. They just come out and they jump right into it, and they say, I'll learn it as I go. And then next thing you know, you're in the hole. You get your tax statement in the year, and you owe 20 grand to the IRS, because you didn't pay no taxes throughout the year. Just so many different things. Did you leave money on the table for not claiming certain things? I actually use a tax company that US Express recommended, and they help me out throughout the year to tell you when to do your quarterlies. They file your taxes for you. If you have a spouse, they file their taxes. Whether you file together or separate, they'll file those for free. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot involved. I think a lot of the reason these lease purchases fail is the driver not understanding the business. Not everybody should be in business for themselves. Some people don't do good at it. They don't have the motivation to get up and just go. Some just don't know the knowledge of running a business, don't know the numbers. And so I think that's the reason it gets a lot of negativity. My lease purchase is a walk away, which means I can walk away anytime. I've thought about it, looking online, seeing other trucks. I was like, man, but the truck I got now, it's doing me good. It's cost me more money to keep it than some of these other ones I see online for being sold for like $50,000 or $60,000. But I got a 2020 Freightliner. Y'all can call it a shake liner if you want to, whatever all the names y'all have for Freightliners. It's very dependable. Gets me where I need to go. Does what I need to do. It's comfortable. Making my own. It doesn't shake like a lot of Freightliners I've seen out there, but it's a good solid truck. Like I said, it's 2020. Gets me where I need to go. Does a good job. And I'm sorry for all the other owner-operators out there, but now's a good time to be a mega carrier. They have contacts. They have companies they work with. Whether you're on a dedicated account or not. I'm on a dedicated account, but my account, they're not doing a lot of running right now. So when they're not doing a lot of running, I get to do over the road runs, and that's what I'm doing. And a lot of times I ask them, if I can go somewhere or do a certain thing, they'll send me in that direction. I asked for Texas because fuel down there is outrageous, and I use the U.S. Express fuel card. Now, of course, you can use your own. A lot of owner operators get their own, but with U.S. Express having so many drivers on it, they get a bigger discount than some of these other cars that people get. I go down to Texas and my fuel is less than $3 a gallon on my diesel. So I can get down to Texas, I can get it as low as like $2.98. I think I had $2.92 one time. I know I get $2.98 several times. $2.92. Sometimes it might be right above $3 to get in Arkansas and stuff. But yes, I like going down there just because of the cost of fuel is a whole lot cheaper. Sometimes the load when I pay as well is like going up toward the north, Ohio and stuff like that. But you make up for it in the fuel surcharge, and like I said, I get 67% of the load, but I get 100% of the fuel surcharge. So they pay me pretty good on the fuel surcharge. If I can get a good rate on it, works out great. So I'm gonna go over some numbers for you. This is like the middle of the year. So some of these numbers, this is from my statement that came out right before the end of June. So almost half a year. So you can double these numbers, kind of get an idea of where I'm sitting at. So my mileage paid for the first half of the year, $83,802. That's my 67%. I got $83,802. These are gross numbers right now. We'll get to the other stuff. My fuel surcharge, 100%, $22,772. There's other things you get paid for. I ain't gonna cover everything. There's detention pay, drop pay. I've gotten some of those. TONU pay, which is TONU pay, is truck ordered not used pay. That's basically if somebody says, yeah, we have a load, they send me that way, and then I get heading that way, and they say, oh no, we don't have a load no more. We decided we don't have a load, or we cancel the load. You still get some pay for that. Not a lot. You don't get the whole full pay, but you get something to kind of compensate for the gas you use. Nothing to really compensate for your time or anything, but it does help out a little bit. It doesn't happen very often, but it's probably happened to me maybe 3 times in the past year. Detention pay, I record that every time it happens, so got some of that. So my total gross pay for the first half of the year was $108,113. So that's for the first half. If you double that, you can kind of estimate for the full year, I would do around $216,336 gross pay. Now, my lease payments for my truck, I'm paying $649 a week. $649 a week so far. This year I pay $16,874, and for the year it'll come up to $33,748. Now, at the end of this year, I think I should be getting paid off right at the end of the year. May go into next year. Other things I pay, we have a maintenance fee, maintenance account, how you want to say it, is they take it regardless. It's 9 cents per mile, and they'll go up to $10,000. And I hear some people say, "Oh, don't use that. Take out your pocket, leave that in the account." No, I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna leave the money in my bank account and pull that out when I need it. The bank account is there for the thing. Now, since I've been out in this truck, I've had to buy 3 new tires, a water pump, which was probably the most expensive thing right now. It's right around $2,500. I was out in the mountains of Tennessee and water pump went out. So that cost me about $2,500 plus about a day and a half. Because they're electronic now, so it's it's a pain. So hub flaps, mirror got hit one time, so a couple different things. So I use the maintenance account for that. Another thing is a bond payment. That's 6 cents per mile. The maintenance goes up to the bond payment is for being in the lease. Once you pay off the truck, you get that bond payment back. That bond payment goes up to $5,000 and it stays there. The maintenance goes up to $10,000 if you get it that high, and it stays there. And also, I use a tax company, like I mentioned before. They get access to all of my statements. So all of my stuff like fuel, that's about the only thing really, the fuel. Everything else I send in. I send in scale tickets or scale receipts, parking receipts, truck washes. Anything I buy for the truck as far as food, linens, clothes I buy while I'm out here. I send all that stuff in. I send in a copy of the receipt. They keep all of that. They got my pay, my gross pay, and all that stuff. So that helps out a whole lot. If you guys find a company like that, that's awesome. Mine's ATBS, I believe it is. And they work with some of these motor carriers. They work with us. They work with Landstar. Some other motor carriers they work with. But of course, if you're not with a carrier, you can still use them. And then they do your taxes at the end of the year. It's included in the cost throughout the year. And if you have a spouse that files with you, or if they file separate, they'll file their taxes for free also, for being your spouse. So just to touch off the numbers here, my net pay so far this year that I've taken home, $43,843 in 6 months. So make me a millionaire? No. Now my truck payment, if you add that in, if I didn't have the truck payment right now, saying that the lease was paid off, everything was good, I would have brought home $60,717 for the year. I mean, for the 6 months, and then for the year, it would be you can estimate it'd be about $121,434. So those are my numbers. I know everybody's got their own different ones. They got their own experiences. I just want to touch on my experience, what I'm doing out here. But if you're coming out of CDL school, like I said, I drove company for a while before I even decided. And I'm a previous business owner. I got into this because of COVID, and I shut down. And then I got into the trucking, but I wasn't going to jump in and start, just buy a truck right out the gate. I drove company for a while, and sometimes company might be the way to stay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with driving company, especially if you don't have experience running a business. They do all this stuff in the CDL school. They don't teach you that. Now, one thing U.S. Express offers, if you do drive company, you can go to school. They got a university they work with where you can do online schooling. You can get your bachelor's degree or your master's degree while driving the truck. When I was driving, I didn't have time. I'm always trying to get that next mile. But you can take business classes in there. Learn what you need to learn to run a business before you just jump into driving, before you jump into getting a truck without knowing what you're doing. And then, make sure it's something you want to do. You come out of CDL school and and maybe you have no other options. You don't think you have any options, so you just do it. And that may be the case. I mean, I had other options. I still do. And I'm doing it because right now I do enjoy it. And it's takes care of things I need to get taken care of. So yeah, so if you come out of CDL school, I mean, try it for a while. Try, drive a company for a while. A lot of times you got to. They don't want to do lease right out the gate, but some companies will. And I just think that's some people say, yeah, they're passing off the buck on somebody else. Yeah, but that's part of being in business. There's a lot of responsibility in business. You can't just say, oh, I'm gonna be in business, but I want the company to still take all the risk. I mean, part of being in business is you take risk. I mean, you got to understand that. You got to learn how to plan your trips. Driving the correct speed to get your best fuel consumption. Knowing how to be picky. I mean, I'm out 3 weeks at a time. Sometimes I've been out 4. I think it'd be hard to be a lease purchase if you got payments, or owner operator if you have payments to go home every week. I think if your truck's paid off, I think it's doable. But I've heard drivers talk about, well, I don't drive after 5 p.m. Don't be a owner operator then. You might be in the wrong business altogether. I've got some great loads that pick up at like 8 o'clock at night and drive straight through the night. And I notice I say a lot too. I just caught that. Sorry. But yeah, I've heard people say they don't drive in bad weather. If rain or something. And I can understand snow, ice, stuff like that. If it starts coming down while I'm driving, I'm gonna go as far as I can until it gets to the point where I shouldn't be out there. I've had wind pull me over before. It'd be so windy. I've seen trucks get blown over from the wind. So but rain, I'm driving through that. If I need to get somewhere, that's one reason I'm on the account I'm on now, because I do deliver on time. That's important to companies. You might not feel it's important, but they feel that it's important they get the freight there on time. If you're somebody they cannot depend on, don't expect to get the good loads. If you treat your dispatcher like crap, don't expect to get good loads. I hear people come out there and say, well, you gotta let the dispatcher know right offhand who's boss. No, you don't. Y'all are a team. They don't work for you. You don't work for them. You're a team. Treat your dispatcher with respect. Introduce yourself. I know a lot of times you don't get to meet your dispatcher, or you don't get to talk to them. I've talked to my dispatcher and I've introduced myself to them, and it's good. And they kind of have an idea of what I do. I don't do Northeast, but other than that, I tell them, give me anything you want. There go again. So it's a good business to get into. You got to learn different things. Your living's different. You're not at home to do different stuff. So it's a different lifestyle to get used to. So don't jump out here and get to become a lease purchase right out the bat, and then you decide you don't like it, and then you got a truck. Like I said, with us, it's a walk away lease. I can walk away anytime. But and like I said, I thought about it, but I'm okay with the truck that I have now. Goal is get her paid off, and hopefully to have no major issues, and then go from there. Do I want to add more trucks in the future? Maybe. Got trucks out there and you see it online. You get 2020, 2019 for like $55,000, $56,000, $60,000. That's the option to buy more trucks. And because I also noticed with US Express, and I think Prime does this also, you can add more trucks to their fleet. You supply the driver. They still have to go through the orientations and stuff, but you can pay that driver a mileage pay, and then you take on the risk of the actual truck. You working as the owner operator, and you run that truck. I know Prime does it. US Express does it. I'm not sure who else does it out there, but that's always an option in the future to grow if you want to make that good money. But you gotta learn your business first. So, other than that, I had nothing else to say. Like I said, I've been busy. I will try to post more videos more often, especially when stuff comes up. I'll do a video of things that frustrate me out here with other people, with 4-wheelers and stuff. But I never got around to it. Like I just been busy. I've been trying really hard to just keep the truck moving. Getting a couple days off now because I got the inspections coming up and I got some stuff I need to do to a home I'm getting ready to lease out. So other than that, you guys have a great 4th of July. A lot of cops out there, be careful. And if you have any questions, definitely comment down below. I'll be glad to ask any questions. Give me a thumbs up if you can. And you guys have a great day.